Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another League of Legends shoutcast. My name is CaptainFlowers, and I am very excited to be bringing you today another League of Legends shoutcast from the very tip top of the ladder. We're talking all challengers with just a couple Masters players sprinkled in here, so this one's sure to be an awesome game to watch. We've got Riven and Jarvan here in the top lane, Rek'Sai and Nidalee in the jungle, Azir and Annie on mid, Tristana and Vayne at AD carry, and Braum and Kennen rounding out these squads on support. We managed to get in on this one here just at the 2-minute mark, so we are not going to miss even one bit of the action. Kennen and Vayne positioning very aggressively, wanting to make sure that the blue team can't do those Krugs for an early advantage. Just going to trade a couple blows here as they all walk into lane. Vayne taking a couple hits, Tristana taking a couple as well. Kennen just being able to chuck those shurikens out and find the poke that he wants to find. Kennen, a very unorthodox support that you don't normally see here. A champion who doesn't exactly do a whole lot in the laning phase. His CC is very unreliable. He has to land all 3 hits of that passive in order to find the stun. However, once he gets into the team fights, once he can use that slicing maelstrom to get in the middle and stun 5 people up, he can be a huge thorn in the side of blue team's efforts trying to win those fights. In the mid lane, we've got Azir and Annie, 2 AP carries with 2 very different play styles. Annie all about that insta-give burst, closing the distance with the flash, blowing somebody up, and taking them out of the equation. Azir going to be looking to just zone the enemy team away, even zone the Annie away using that superior range with the soldiers, but Nidalee showing up into the mid lane. Azir flash already being forced out. Annie dropping the ignite onto him. The barrier from Azir now being used as well. That's both summoners down for the Emperor. An early gank from Nidalee, making it so Annie's got a nice, easy lane here. Should she ever find a window to open up onto Azir, he's going to have no sort of fallback mechanism to keep himself safe. Nidalee playing very aggressively into the blue side jungle. Rek'Sai now has to be aware of her presence, making sure that she doesn't get counter-jungled here. Riven pushing up the top side. Jarvan in a lot of danger here. Down to just a couple hundred HP. Riven only at a few hundred herself, but still in a better position than what Jarvan's looking at. Riven starting off with that Doran's Blade multiple health potion start. She used the teleport at the start after clearing a camp level 1. So she's got a lot of extra pots to work with after also having that Doran's Blade. Jarvan also using the teleport at level 1, but going with the Crystalline Flask into a bunch of health potions. So he doesn't quite have the strength of the Doran's Blade. However, all that extra sustain, all that extra regeneration ability is going to prove very helpful for coming back after he gets initiated on into these fights. Riven going to stun him up under the tower, but taking a little bit of tower aggro from it in return. Not exactly what she wanted to do, but she's still keeping Jarvan pushed down here. The CS staying even in this top lane. Tristana and Braum pushing up bot side, doing what they can to try to pressure this Vayne early. Tristana easily able to outtrade Vayne in the laning phase, and the red team has to respect that. They have to make sure that they're just farming up, getting into that mid game, so that Vayne can become that hyper carry monster that they want her to be. Red team having a lot of wombo combo potential in this game. They've got the Kennen ult, they've got the Annie ult, they've got that huge AoE that can just control a massive area in the fight and allow Vayne to get her damage off. Blue side also having a lot of range in this game. Blue side having the insta-give potential there on Riven. They also have a lot of damage on Tristana, with Rek'Sai and Braum both being able to peel away the enemy for her and keep her alive, while Azir can do the same, dropping that Emperor's Divide, making it so that the red team cannot get to Trist. Going to have 2 different philosophies going into these team fights, and seeing which one's able to execute it better is going to be one of the fun points of watching this game. Tristana not letting up on this pressure in the bot side. 33 CS to 25 on Vayne. They want to make sure they're punishing her early. This is what you got to do to a Vayne. You've got to pick something that can beat her in the laning phase, and you've got to punish her every single time she comes up for a creep. Tristana's tossing out that explosive charge. She's throwing out the auto attacks, and she's letting Vayne know that this is her lane, and Vayne's just got to live in it. Jarvan and Rek'Sai getting into a fight in the top side. Jarvan with the advantage, but with Rek'Sai here, that's not going to last for long. Jarvan timing that flag and grab absolutely wonderfully, managing to get himself away from the Rek'Sai knockup. Nidalee now showing up in Rek'Sai's jungle, wants to see if she can find a potential pickoff here, but the Tremor Sense going to let Rek'Sai know that something is up. Nidalee finds the spear, but she's not going to be able to do a whole lot with it. Prey Seeker coming out from Rek'Sai in return. They're just going to trade that poke and not be able to find anything else. Riven's down to a couple hundred HP, but she's completely out of potions. This is the disadvantage you have when you go Doran's Blade into that Crystalline Flask. If you manage to not finish them off nice and early, they do have the regeneration to come back and start taking that lane back over. Jarvan just needs another good Dragon Strike into a potential auto attack, and it's curtains for Riven. Jarvan does have that level 6 now. Cataclysm is available. If he tries to go deep for this, he may just be able to find the kill, but he has to respect the Valor into stun combination on Riven. Rek'Sai showing up, making sure that her top laner doesn't get dove for that first blood. Jarvan not quite going to be able to find what he wants here, but he does go deep for it, saving the Cataclysm, and he's got the first blood. Riven trying to flash away from that one, but she's not going to be able to find it. Rek'Sai finds the follow-up kill onto Jarvan, but that's a lot of EXP under the turret that Riven's not going to be able to get, and Jarvan makes sure he grabs an early advantage for himself in this lane. 1-1 now the score. After Rek'Sai evens that one up, the blue team ahead by just a couple hundred gold. Nidalee showing up bot side looking to fix that. Braum going to block that spear with the shield. Tristana trying to drop some damage onto Kennen, but Braum is the one who's being pressured by the red side. Tristana finding so much damage onto Nidalee. The teleport coming down from Riven as well. The blue team trying to turn this, but Jarvan with the follow-up TP. It's the turn of a turn. Riven does only have her level 5. There's no level 6 on her. She can't just turn this around and do that thing that Rivens are wont to do, where they make the fight go completely on its head. Nidalee going to find the spear, but it will not connect onto Riven. The red team chases away the blue side, and despite 2 teleports and so many people going low in this fight, there's not a single casualty, and both sides walk away. This is what we come to see in these challenger-level games. Everyone rotating in, everyone doing everything they can, but because every player in the game is so mechanically skilled and knows when to go in and when to back out, it results in nothing happening. Both sides trying to make that hustle work down there, but coming up blank. 10.1 to 9.8 thousand gold. Kill score even, but blue team still with a little bit of an advantage. Jarvan going to lose a few CS to this tower here. His teleport, of course, being used in the bot side, so he's just going to have to hoof it back to lane. Nidalee just positioning up in her own jungle. Going to be clearing out this red buff, but she has to be aware. Rek'Sai might be near. She's going to find that Prey Seeker to the face. And Nidalee now having to back up from this. She's got no mana, only 300 health. Can't go for the buff with Rek'Sai right there. Ping coming out from Annie. They know that Rek'Sai is still around the area. They know that Rek'Sai wants to try to catch Nidalee out. Annie will find that ward onto the Digger, but Rek'Sai just going to tunnel away from that one. Annie trying to follow up with the flash and the Tibbers. She's got the Ignite. She's got the Fireball, but it's not quite going to be enough to finish Rek'Sai off, and Annie's now in a lot of trouble with the collapse from Riven and Azir. It's going to be Riven taking the credit for that one, as Annie invests just a little too much into trying to kill the blue side jungler. Annie needed just potentially one more auto attack to be able to bring Rek'Sai down there, but was not able to find it. She expended both summoner spells and her ultimate in order to try to grab that, and when it failed, she was left completely up the creek without a paddle, and Azir and Riven were able to easily collapse and bring her down, punish that greed, and take the kill lead 2-1. Tristana now going very aggressive again, whenever she can, jumping in, throwing these explosive charges and these auto attacks out onto these red side bot laners, because there's not a whole lot they can do to respond to it. Jarvan going to take a tower shot, just like Riven did earlier. He's being very aggressive, trying to poke her out of this lane as much as he can, but he has to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage from that tower in return. Riven did use her ultimate to secure that kill onto Annie earlier, so Jarvan knows he has that safety window to work with for the time being. He's able to play so aggressively because he's not afraid of that immediate return burst coming out of Riven, but once it's back, he's going to have to be aware of that and make sure that he doesn't overinvest against a cooldown that's actually there. Jarvan going to find the flag and drag onto Riven. Another auto attack or two will do it, but he starts attacking Rek'Sai. Absolutely a misclick coming out of Jarvan, hitting Rek'Sai instead of the Riven that was incredibly low HP. Wouldn't have likely been one auto attack, most likely 2, but he could have potentially got it there if he clicked the right target. A horrible misfortune for Jarvan to come across, not being able to click that right target. It happens to the best of us every now and then. It's a shame for him that he wasn't able to get the kill because of it. Kennen trying to dash in, find the damage with that ultimate, but Tristana taking the tower aggro as she jumps in is going to go down. It's an overcommit from the blue side and a double kill onto this red team AD carry. Vayne coming out big here as the blue team does the one thing they didn't want to do in the bot side and gives Vayne that early extra gold to get her towards those mid-game power spikes. Azir continuing to pressure Annie under her turret in the mid lane. This is the strength of Azir over Annie. He doesn't have that ability like she does to do the insta-gib. Speaking of insta-gibs, Nidalee off to the side, just getting taken down by the combined might of Rek'Sai and Azir together. Azir having the ability to be a factor in these fights from so far away, and that's what Annie's having a hard time dealing with. She doesn't quite have the range to trade evenly and effectively with him unless she just flashes, goes for that Tibbers, goes for that all-in, and Azir's just constantly poking her without any sort of worry of being retaliated on. Rek'Sai off in the wings now. They're looking to try to potentially dive this, but Kennen's presence here is going to be able to deter that. Blue team is going to be able to take the tower and walk away with it. Azir immediately turning that passive on, making sure red team doesn't try to turn this around on him. Rek'Sai nearby just stealing away the camps of Nidalee. Going to leave that one little wolf there. He's got no family left, and Kennen's going to put him out of his misery. Azir flashing forward. Emperor's Divide on Kennen's going to throw him back. The soldiers are there. Braum's there. The flash is forced to come out from Kennen. Winter's Bite could likely end this. Braum going to go ahead and drop the Ignite, but Kennen's health pop might keep him alive here. Rek'Sai going to secure the kill onto Nidalee as she goes down, and Kennen lives with just a sliver of HP. Blue team starting to build a lead for themselves now, 18.2 to 15.1 thousand gold. They've got a 3-kill edge. They've got a 1-tower lead, and they've got the momentum here going into the mid-game. No dragons yet taken in this game, but with the red team's bot side tower now going down, that might be the next thing they look for. Braum showing up bot side as Tristana engages onto Vayne, and the damage is there. Vayne not able to keep herself alive through this one as the blue team finds the pickup onto her off the back of that tower. And they're now in a wonderful position to go for that dragon that I mentioned just moments ago. Rek'Sai's already there. She's already working on it. She doesn't even seem to need the help of her bot lane. Tristana and Braum just going to both be able to continue pressuring this bot side, making red team answer that, and keep their resources and their eyes turned away from that dragon pit. Rek'Sai sitting on 4-0. This dragon's absolutely no problem for her whatsoever, and she'll be able to secure that one quickly and easily. No answer from the red team at all. Nidalee in the top lane looking to come up here and help Jarvan win the fight against Riven. He drops the Cataclysm. He flashes away from the Wind Slash. Riven could potentially be in trouble here, but she also has the ability to turn this if she manages to time it right and red team doesn't play this correctly. She's going to find the kill onto Nidalee. She's going to find the kill onto Jarvan, and that is the Riven double kill. That is the risk that you take ganking Riven when you're such a squishy jungler like Nidalee is. If you don't execute it properly, if you don't manage to bring her down immediately, and she gets that second wave of cooldowns ready, she can turn the fight and win it in the 1v2. Very well played coming out of this blue side top laner, showing red team that she did not come to mess around, and they are going to have to bring their A game if they want to try that again. Annie managing to rotate up and make the kill for her team, making it so it's not a 2-for-0, at least a 2-for-1 that they managed to pull. However, the blue team still has to be happy with the way that one turned out. They managed to get the 1-for-2 on Riven, and they also forced this red side mid laner to rotate up, so she's not here to help her jungler in her own jungle. She's not here to do anything. Her jungler had just died top, the jungler respawns and then dies middle because Annie has to rotate top and then is not in a position to be nearby when Nidalee gets collapsed on again. Jarvan with the initiation onto Tristana. The Annie Tibbers is going to go down as Annie's immediately deleted in this fight. The 2v3 not going the way of the red side as the blue team continues to build their lead. A double kill for Tristana. 12-4 now the score as the blue side goes up an 8,000 gold lead at just the 14-minute mark. Kennen trying to use that slicing maelstrom to get himself away from these two, but Rek'Sai and Braum are incredibly tenacious, and they're going to be able to find the damage with the help of that Winter's Bite. Riven and Vayne in the 1v1 here bot side. Vayne getting a lot of damage down onto Riven, but she has to be careful of the Wind Slash damage, and there it is. Riven with another beautiful kill onto the AD carry this time. The blue team taking over this game absolutely by storm. The red team having no answer for what the blue team is putting out right now. This is going to be the blue side's 5th tower. The red team has still to take their first. The top side tower barely hurt. The middle tower barely hurt. The bottom tower barely hurt. There's no damage even on these blue turrets. All the lanes won so handedly that there's very little that the red team is able to find right now. Annie does manage to pick up the kill onto Tristana in the top lane. She expends the Ignite and the Tibbers for it, but it's worth it at this point to be able to find that damage, to be able to find that extra gold in the shutdown that they needed onto the blue side AD carry. Azir continuing to just poke out these red team members as they try to defend these turrets. He's got the range. The Emperor's Divide going to throw Jarvan backwards as he tries to flag and drag into this. The teleport comes in from Riven, and Jarvan must not have been paying attention because he still continues to stay there even after seeing that teleport get channeled, walking away just inches away from death. He manages to escape for now, but Azir setting up shop here in the mid lane. He's got the turret already created. He wants to make sure that the red team cannot try to flank his guys, come around from the side and catch them off guard, potentially come back into this game. The blue team has taken over this map. We look at the vision game that these guys have. They've got wards posted up all through the red jungle here. They're completely far forward. They don't even bother sitting in their own jungle. They're just farming up the red sides, taking over this map, and confining the red team to this small area of the map that is their base and the area around this last outer turret. They've only got this one remaining. As soon as this falls, the red team has no sanctuary left outside of the base. Nidalee just sitting in the fountain now. She looks like she may have potentially just given up. Jarvan just sitting in the base as well. The red team morale is at an all-time low, and understandably so. 30.9 to 20.4 thousand gold. The blue side just completely dominating this game from start to finish. Every single lane. The only one without a huge dominating lead in his lane is Azir, who's just sitting on 0-0 and 4 because all the kills in his lane have gone over to Rek'Sai, who's now sitting on 6-0. This blue side jungler, so tanky, but yet also so much damage as the blue team looks to break the red team base here at the 16-minute mark. They've got that first inhibitor turret down. They're going to take the inhibitor with it, and the red team making no effort to try to stop them. Back pings coming out from the blue side. They're trying to be aware of the potential red team retaliation, but I don't think they know that the red team has 3 members just sitting AFK in the fountain at this point. Blue side doing what they can, and this is likely not even going to go to a 20-minute game, and if it does, it will not go any further than that. Tristana disrespect dancing in the enemy base, trying to bait someone over on top of her as Braum and Azir show up, trying to find that pickoff kill. The blue side wants to find their second inhibitor turret of the game, and it looks like the red team has no qualms with that. The blue side taking that one down here before the 17-minute mark appears, and the second inhibitor will follow it shortly thereafter. Slicing Maelstrom coming out from Kenna, but it's going to flash immediately away, mostly doing that one for show, as the red team has punched their ticket. It looks like the game is about to end. Tristana and Braum trying to push this one down, but some of these red team members not willing to go down without a fight. They are going to try to defend their nexus, but it's only a matter of time at this point. The blue team so far ahead, a nearly 13,000 gold lead at just 17 minutes. When your gold lead in the thousands is equal to the number of minutes in the game, you've pretty much taken over, and the blue side is telling that story today. If we look at the wards on the map, red team has 3 wards out, and they're all just outside of their base walls. This is the amount of control of the map that the red team has. They control this top right corner, and everything else is blue side territory. They've got a couple of these defensive pink wards here in neutral territory, a couple in their own territory, but the other wards are all posted very, very deep here, just outside the red team base in their jungle, watching for anybody that might be brave or silly enough to come outside the base, just like Vayne has right here. Vayne trying to duel the Riven, but Riven damage so absolutely massive. The Wind Slash will bring Vayne down without a problem. Rek'Sai is going to shoot that Prey Seeker in, grab the extra 100 damage on the top for the assist, as the blue team has 5 members top looking to push down this final inhibitor turret of the game. Here at the 18-minute mark, they're going to take the inhibitor turret, they're going to take the inhibitor, and they're going to take the Nexus. The blue side running away with this one. Again, the main question to be asked at this point is, will they end it before the 20-minute mark? They're already in the base. They've got all these waves of super minions. They've already got the super minions on the turret, and red team not doing anything to try to fight this. The blue team is onto the Nexus towers. They've got 1 down. They've got 2 down, and this game is going to end before the 19-minute mark. What started off a close game for the first little while turned into a runaway for the blue side as they end this one 1845, 37.0 thousand to 22.6 thousand gold. 14,500 gold lead in 18.5 minutes is absolutely amazing. GG well played to everybody on this blue side. GG well played to everybody in the game. Thank you guys for watching this game. Once again, my name is Captain Flowers. I am an aspiring shoutcaster. If you enjoyed this cast, if you'd like to check out more like it, please feel free to look at the other videos on the channel. Leave me a comment, leave me a message. Let me know what you think of what I'm doing here, what you'd like to see improved, and I will catch you guys next time.